I would also like to introduce our core zone team and deputy ambassadors. Past District Governor Clenice Platt from the Rotary Club of Hampton Roads, Norfolk, Virginia, will be sharing with you next steps and office hours. Rotary representative to the United Nations Women and a member of the Washington Rotary Global Club in Washington, D.C., Anna Patel, will be our moderator today. Our amazing Zone 34 public image and technical support team includes Kim Walden from the Rotary Club of Thomasville in Georgia and Sean Patty from the Rotary Club of Port of Spain in Trinidad. Lastly, we are pleased to have our newest team members, Dipali Takani, president of the Rotaract Club of Monarch and Friends, and Taylor Alphin from Rotary Club of Ending Child Abuse. Another very important member of our Zone 33-34 Rotary International team is International Director Jeremy Hurst. Jeremy is a 33-year Rotarian serving as president of the Rotary Club of Grand Cayman and as the governor for 2013-14 in District 7020. He is passionate about finding lasting solutions to Rotary's membership challenges and is currently working with the zone's regional leadership team to build a membership action plan. Jeremy owns and operates the IRG group of companies providing a range of property services to the Cayman and the Caribbean markets. He currently chairs the Global Advisory Board of leading real estate companies of the world and sits on their main board. He and his wife, Michelle, enjoy traveling and making the most of the unique opportunities to serve, build lifelong friendships, and enjoy the fellowship that Rotary offers. Jeremy, you've got a few opening remarks for us today. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Tina, and absolutely, it's wonderful to be here and to see so many of you here today for such an important initiative, cause, and what we believe will turn into a long-term program. I'd also like to recognize here the immediate past Rotary International Director, Peter Kyle. And it's so important that we understand the significance of continuity when it comes to leadership, whether it be at director level, at Rotary International level, at the board level, but also importantly at this level as well. And because this is where Rotary happens. It happens on the ground, it happens in our communities, and this is the most important location for where we can see Rotary at work. And as our vision statement calls for, it calls for us to create lasting change, not only globally, but obviously in our communities and also within ourselves. And to me, programs like this do exactly that. It's a massive opportunity for us to get great value from our Rotary membership experience. So we're here today to engage you as advocates, to let you understand more about the program and to talk about how we can drive this program forward. And I use the term program as opposed to initiative, because as I said, this has actually grown organically from the initial seeds of an idea that started with our President Shekhar. And I have to say, this was probably one of the initiatives that was slightly late to the table in his deciding what he was going to focus on. But there hasn't been one that's been taken up more organically, more passionately than this initiative on a global, local, and regional basis. And I want to thank our two ambassadors, Tina and Dawn, as well as the additional ones of the team for doing such an amazing job in driving that forward. If you were at the Rotary International Convention, you will have seen the breakouts there where they were front and center, and programs such as the one in Trinidad, the Crown Health program, and others from across our zones, which we're tremendously proud of, show us the opportunities that we have to drive this and take this initiative further. And as I said, turn it into a program. Let me go back to continuity one more time. The great thing that's happened as Empowering Girls has shown that it's set its roots down during President Shekhar's year, is it's now been taken up by President Jen. And President Jen talks about empowering girls in a way I really like. She talks about how empowered girls can become, how by empowering girls, we can create empowered women. And if you look at our Rotary International Board now, our executive committee that our Pastoral Director Peter chaired last year, that is one example of empowered women. So we are not only talking the talk, we're walking the walk as an organization. And I want to just say on behalf of President Jen, who I spoke to a couple of days ago, she was on her way to India and she wanted me to pass my best wishes and her best wishes through me to you and encourage you to do everything we possibly can to grow this program within zones 33 and 34. So thank you so much for your time today. I'm looking forward to working with Dawn, with Tina, with the full team, with each of you in making this program a success and enabling it to deliver lasting change in our communities and in ourselves. Thank you, Tina.
Thank you, Jeremy. Are we ready to be empowered? Imagine Rotary could not have been a more perfect theme for this year. And we are excited that President Jennifer will continue with empowering girls as Rotary International Presidential Initiative. On Monday, we had a meeting with President Jennifer and Elizabeth Yusevich, the task force chair. They shared the vision of the Empowering Girls Initiative and how we as ambassadors, advocates, champions will continue to identify and promote projects that empower our girls. The Zone 34 Task Force has been honored this past Rotary year to have partnered with community leaders around the world to bring valuable awareness, information, and resources that empower our girls. Our goal this year is to support each of you as district advocates for your Rotary and Rotaract clubs by connecting, by inspiring, and by spurring action to bring awareness to the inequities our girls still face, and to help you facilitate and support club projects in your districts, which will help resolve and remedy these inequities. So we ask, why empower our girls? Every girl has a right to go to school, to stay safe from violence, and to have access to health services and be fully a participant in their community. The statistics speak volumes as to why this initiative is so important. We can create positive change for our girls that will impact them, impact their families, their future children, their communities, and future generations around the world. Anything that we can do at the club level as Rotary members to enhance the lives of our girls is not small by any measure. In fact, it can be long-lasting and very impactful once we really put an effort and make a commitment to it. Therefore, this initiative focuses on the empowerment of girls through club and district events and service activities, as well as through Rotary International sponsored events, such as Rotary International Convention, Rotary Days at the United Nations, presidential conferences, and Rotary Days of Service. Our overall purpose is to do what? Prioritize girls in one or more areas of focus and to improve their well-being and allow them to make greater contributions to their communities. So how do we do that? Empowering girls by educating them. As Director Jeremy said, we know that educating our girls will empower them to become empowered women. World Bank statistics tell us that 9 in 10 girls globally complete primary education. But by the time the girls get to secondary education, only 3 in 4 complete that education. Empowering girls leads to healthier families. Over 500 million women and girls lack adequate facilities to manage their menstrual cycle or have limited or no access to clean water and feminine hygiene products. Empowering our girls breaks the cycle of poverty. Every additional year of school increases a girl's eventual wages by an average of 12%. That's huge. Many girls are having to work to supplement household income or stay at home and take on the child care responsibilities so other members of their family can go to work. In this crazy digital world, this has proven to be a huge barrier for educating our girls. They have limited or no access to devices or internet. Empowering girls also strengthens economies. Increasing the number of women completing secondary education by just 1% could increase a country's economic growth by 0.3%. So what can you do? How can clubs participate? Rotary clubs and districts can participate by creating and implementing projects that enhance the quality of the life of our girls. They can modify existing projects to include components that focus on our girls. Using our connections through Rotary Action Groups, Rotary Peace Fellows, and consulting with our very, very experienced cadre foundation, the Rotary Foundation cadres of advisors. They can help identify activities and have unlimited resources. The possibilities are diverse and endless when it comes to projects. And we encourage you to see not only what is currently happening in your district and in your clubs and how it can be adapted or adopted, but also look around at what other clubs in other districts are doing around the world and have found success that inspire them and inspire you. Examples this year we focused on the Crown Her Project. Their goal is reducing period poverty by providing girls and women free personal hygiene products. This non-governmental initiative is a true example of the power of partnerships. The 4 Rotary clubs of Trinidad and Tobago, working with the National Supermarket Association, the medical associations, and the Chamber of Commerce, is on its way to becoming the only second country in the world after Scotland to have implemented such a project. The WRAPAROUND project at the Rotary Club of Meriwether County. They are located inside 5 schools within the county. They provide girls access to school supplies, clothing, personal hygiene products, and mentorship on a daily basis. Rotarian Dave McCleary is the global chair for the Rotarian Action Group Against Slavery and Human Trafficking now. Over 45.8 million people are in some form of slavery across 167 countries. 30% of them are children. 40% of them are girls and women. We also want to emphasize and encourage you to partner with other organizations and agencies or companies in your communities. There are some great groups out there which have fully developed ideas and solutions as far as projects and activities centered around empowering our girls. And they're just ready and waiting for some partner like Rotary or Rotaract clubs to come along. These are existing organizations and groups that are already doing something that you can join and assist with implementation and execution. In fact, some of these groups may be even able to help you with funding a club project. For example, Spotlight Initiative. It's a global initiative of the United Nations with a goal to eliminate all forms of violence against women and girls. My Girl Tribe provides opportunities for our young girls and women to be empowered through professionally curated inner wellness programs. Girl Be Heard builds leaders through social conscious theater making, storytelling, and performances. And Girl Scouts. We all know Girl Scouting builds courage, confidence, and character. Their Badge in a Bag program includes everything a Girl Scout needs to earn a ready, resilient, and strong patch, which helps them learn healthy mental health skills. Similarly, let's not forget connecting with existing action groups that offer support and resources. Some of these are the Rotary Action Group Against Slavery, the Rotary Action Group for Reproductive, Maternal, and Child Health, the Water, Sanitation, Hygiene Rotary Action Group. Those are just to name a few. Above all, we strive to expand the reach and increase the impact of this initiative, no matter the scale of the project. We must remember the following. Tell the story. We know President Jennifer loves to tell stories. Make sure you get the word out and let people know why we are doing this and who it affects, whether it be in the local news, social media. Help build awareness and promote solutions. Number 2, measure the positive impact of projects. Ensure the projects have very well-defined goals, objectives, and targets, especially those that can be quantified to determine the impact and sustainability. Number 3, report on these projects. It is a bit of disservice when a great and successful project is only known by a few people, when the ability to learn from others is limited. By reporting on projects, including them in platforms like Rotary Showcase, we can allow other members, clubs, and districts to not only be inspired by the efforts to empower our girls, but also to ask themselves, why aren't we doing something like this in our community? And encourage even more action and more awareness. That is the why on this initiative. It is so important that this orientation session is key. We need each of you to take the message back to your districts, to your clubs and members, and really advance this initiative at a grassroots level and among all of you people of action. Now I will turn it over to Dawn Rochelle to share and review with you what you can do as in your role as district advocate for empowering our girls. Dawn?
Absolutely. Thank you, Tina. And is your brain connecting to so many ideas right now as you watch the slides? Mine sure is. Are you inspired? I certainly am every time that I devote time to these webinars. That energy that you're feeling is the power of Rotary. The generative conversations and learning from each other and researching what is being done across our globe to empower our girls is what we want to help everyone create in every single corner of our zones. Inspiration and ideas for club projects, district conferences, club presentations, and so much more comes from just holding conversations. If you were thinking already, well, we have projects that we know support our girls in our district. Well, I bet if others knew about them, they would be inspired and probably be able to replicate it. Or perhaps you know that some clubs, like my own home club, where they just needed some time to be setting aside a thought or a project or an idea in a club meeting to think through exactly how or what needed to be done. An advocate creates the conversations and the space to connect others to resources. And here's the benefit for you personally as an advocate. You connect with even more people that you never even knew you needed. It has personally helped me to be an engaged Rotarian in this season because it allows me to use my professional and life experience in an impactful way to serve others. For myself, a clinical social worker, a nonprofit CEO, and the mom of a girl, I pride myself on knowing needs in our community, but I had never sadly thought about the needs in my own community around girls' periods and the expense of the products in order for our girls to attend school, especially in today's economic situation. In just a few conversations, I found out that others had not either, but the teachers see it as a need, and educators wonder if maybe it prevents some attending school or participating fully in my own home school district. This is something that I can do something about, but not alone. In a couple of hours today, I meet with my own club board to present an idea for a district grant for a club project to partner with our Interact Club to create a hygiene packet for girls in our largest high school that my daughter actually attended and a local middle school. I am doing this because of conversations from this initiative. I am proposing a replication of a project that exists in Georgia, and I'm in North Carolina. We are looking for projects like this to replicate and scale. As President Jennifer said on the first page of the Rotary magazine this past issue, we want to shine a light on our projects to encourage others of what is possible. As I've been having this conversation, guess what else has been coming to mind? Membership. Who else would want to help in some way? There are a lot of potential Rotarians, Rotaractors, and Interactors that can be connected to Rotary just through this project. We are all stronger together, and that's what this conversation is about today. And as a district advocate, you serve as a connector. Club leaders observe what we say and what we do, and they take action based on their perceptions of our words and actions. We hear over and over on these calls, so as a Rotarian, we can do that? Or I didn't know Rotary had that action group. Well, as district advocates, you help to keep the Empowering Girls Initiative at the forefront of club project activity, just like I will do today in a board meeting. You encourage clubs to not only engage in projects, but also to observe them and measure the impact and report the results. You capture lessons learned and community approaches to share with this group of advocates that can help us to tease it apart even further. You champion and to help tell the stories of successful projects like you've already heard here today. You get the word out by sitting side by side, if you need to get our projects into Rotary Showcase. You basically create energy and connection to retain and grow membership. Perhaps most importantly, the advocate allows each Rotary or Rotaract club to define what they see is needed. The advocate encourages all Rotarians to work with the Empowering Girls Initiative in the ways that are the most effective and relevant for their community. This is a club level initiative that the club leads. The key responsibilities for the district advocate are to inform district and club leaders about the initiative, to build enthusiasm for participation in the initiative, to simplify the process for a club to select a project by providing access to resources such as connecting with other advocates, Rotary action groups, and organizations with missions and programs focused on empowering girls. Resources continue to be updated on Rotary.org for presidential initiatives and on the Zone 3334 website. Also, to provide ongoing resources, encouragement, and to support as they implement projects. If we see it, we can be it. And sometimes it's just taking the time to allow others to see it. To encourage club leaders to include Empowering Girls club projects and trainings, assemblies, and other events. To document the success stories, as you've heard here today, in Rotary Showcase, and help us to know about them so we can help you promote them. Also, you're going to be hearing in just a few moments from past District Governor Clenice that we're going to be offering office hours that you will get to hear about other club projects that are in Rotary Showcase from our zones, and to help tease apart through Q&A sessions an action plan where you can help inspire and connect others to take action. We also want to really shine a spotlight on the need of our advocates to advocate for youth protection. The safety and well-being of young people and youth program participants is Rotary's highest priority. Girls are an especially vulnerable population, and Rotary has worked for decades to make our children's lives more. It is critical that clubs and districts understand and follow Rotary's youth protection policies before planning and implementing projects that include significant involvement with children under 18 and include one-on-one contact or repeated prolonged engagement with adults. Advocates are an important and effective channel of communication for Rotary's youth protection guidelines and the importance of safeguarding children from physical, sexual, and psychological abuse. Encouraging clubs and districts to follow these guidelines as they implement Empowering Girls projects is an important responsibility in the advocate's role. Advocates are also encouraged to create awareness among clubs and districts to collect and use the names, photos, videos, and other information of children carefully and responsibly, and I would add, with permission. Rotary provides a variety of resources to support clubs and districts governors are encouraged to connect clubs with their district youth protection officers, and that is a vital role for the advocate. They are highlighted on Rotary.org, and we will highlight the policies and procedures as part of our Zone 3334 resources. Youth protection is a necessary conversation that we all have a responsibility to lead, and this committee is here to support those conversations. Your time today shows that this Empowering Girls initiative is a need and that you are and want to continue to be a part of solutions for our girls. We have a unique opportunity as Rotarians and Rotaractors to bring together those that can solve really big issues. Rotarians represent change. Our founder, Paul Harris, said in the early days of Rotary, we must be evolutionary at all times and sometimes revolutionary. That is why we are still here 117 years later. Ideas are put forward to change something for the better. Thank you for being a part of Empowering Girls. And now let's hear about some resources that are going to further energize you from someone who inspires us all, past District Governor Clenice.
Oh, that's so sweet. Thank you, Dawn. Great information. And thank you to everybody here. Today, we're going to talk about some important resources just to help individuals who are going to be advocates. So when we are talking about empowering girls, district advocates, I just want to reemphasize again the role that all of those advocates will be playing. You'll be advocating for our girls' empowerment, acting as a resource actually for the clubs and the districts, and then collecting and distributing those success stories. That is extremely important. So there are a number of different opportunities that are available for our clubs and that are available as a resource for our advocates. One, we want you to make sure that if you are serving as an advocate for your district, that you're visiting the RI President's page to find out additional ways to participate. And of course, attend the presidential conference, learn about Rotary's comprehensive approach to youth protection. As our chair just mentioned about the importance of youth protection, there's a training that we need. If you're going to be an advocate, that we need you to make sure that you attend in the Learning Center, and you want to, we were told the other day, we want to actually be the example of that. So just to make sure that we attend those trainings and that those advocates for our clubs and our districts are doing that as well. Also, we want you to visit the Zone 3334 website and Facebook page. These are resources that are available for you, and you actually drive that. When we think about additional resources as we move forward, the other important thing is that we want to make sure that you find Rotary action groups. Find that contact information on the RI President's page. Connect with action groups that can help. We talked about this. You've heard this multiple times already this morning, but this is extremely important. Rotary Showcase. Find those ideas for projects or ways to work with other clubs to empower girls. That's there on Rotary Showcase. But the other important piece is you all telling your story. So adding your service activity or project to the Empowering Girls campaign at Empowering Girls is extremely important. And then we finally want to talk about partnerships. You've heard a lot about that today as well, but work with our partner, the Global Partnership for Education, on projects that increase girls' access to education. Now, as we think about the schedule that is available for us and the ways that we are going to be connecting on zones 33, 34, I want to just talk about, of course, you all being here today. Bravo, we've already done one of those things on our schedule, and we're so happy to have you. In addition, we are going to be speaking at the Governor-elect's training seminars, inviting our district governors and those in the district governor line just to ensure that they are being supportive and also helping us with this particular initiative. One of the unique things about our district, our zones that I love and I think is going to be extremely helpful for all of our advocates is the Empower Girls Zones 33, 34 office hours. These office hours are going to be for any Rotarian and any Rotaractor to attend. What we want to do on those calls is to highlight Zone 33, 34 club projects and Rotary Showcase, discuss those ideas, updates, etc. So I want to just back up very quickly, because when it says that we are going to be discussing Rotary Showcase ideas, it's those ideas from our district, from our zone that are in the Rotary Showcase that we will be able as a team to look at and say, yes, these are great folks that we can highlight. So make sure that your clubs are putting those amazing projects into the Rotary Showcase. These particular office hours will be held on the second Wednesdays of the last month of each quarter at 10 a.m. So you see the schedule there. Don't worry. If you can't write it all down, we're going to make sure that this presentation is available on our Zone 3334 website, September 14th, December 14th, March 8th, and June 14th. We also will be having 3 public webinars during 2023 Rotary year and a Rotary International Convention presentation in May 2023 in Australia. Yay! And also, club and district conference presentations are always an opportunity for us to spread the word. One of the things that is very important, and I just want you all to think about this when we're talking about those next steps, is thinking about how we can highlight the successful examples of clubs that have engaged in activity or provided those resources to enhance the lives of girls. You all are our conduit for that. You all help us to be able to do that. So that's really important. So from now, from July through September 2022, these are the things that we want to be able to do. We also want to be able to connect with our club leaders to encourage club activities and share informational resources. Encourage and recognize clubs that develop Rotary and community partnerships for empowering girls initiatives. As advocates, you will be instrumental in helping with that. Encouraging clubs to enter activities into Rotary Showcase. Have you heard that before? Are you getting the message? We really think that that's so important because it is a resource for all of us, not just your club, but for all of us. Encourage clubs to highlight activities in local media, and then make sure that you're sharing those on our social media platforms. We have a specific hashtag that we want you to use. I'll put that in the chat box. And then we want you to connect with zone support at our next office hours, which we've already said are going to be September 14th. So we really want you all to do that at 10 a.m. Now, I want to take a moment as we think about the legacy of this particular moment. Each of us, my father always uses this phrase, he always tells me and my brother that you are strategically placed. Each of us is strategically placed to make a significant impact in the lives of the girls that are in our lives. So this Empowering Girls initiative should be the start of Rotary making a lasting impact on a generation of girls. We can make a difference in girls' lives by advocating for the public and private sectors to support girls and raising awareness of girls' needs in our communities, our social networks, and our partnerships, as we've done with our polio eradication work. And each of you is an important part of that. Now, it is my pleasure to invite Anna to lead us in some questions and answers.
Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for all of you who spoke before. What a wonderful presentation. I've been on this team for almost a year now, and I'm so excited to work with this incredible leadership group. So a couple things have come up already in the chat, and I look forward, people can raise their hands. I think, is that true, Sean, or continue to write your questions in it. One question that just came up from Kevin Kendrick is the idea of having a naming protocol for Showcase, so that when people put in their projects, their club projects, their district projects, that they all start with empowering girls. So I think that certainly that sounds like a great idea, and is something that perhaps Tina and Dawn can take to Elizabeth and to the Rotary International level of this project. But also we can start doing that ourselves. Certainly our zones can use that as a protocol. So Tina, Dawn, any thoughts on that?
She may be waiting for me. So absolutely, if we can use that hashtag, that allows us to track across. And Jeremy, I don't know if there was anything that you may want to add on the updates that are coming for Rotary Showcase and allowing us for it to be an even more usable platform.
I know they're working out very, very hard on that, Dawn. You know, certainly from a technology point of view, it's one of Rotary's main focus, and Showcase is an important part of that. So the support will be there. Let's just go out there and find these amazing projects and programs and get them uploaded as best we can.
We had a call with President Jennifer on a Monday, and there is some additional information that is forthcoming. We should have more for our advocates close to the end of the month. With the new Rotary year starting and everything transitioning, we don't have all of the information that we can provide, but the hashtag that Clinice put in the chat box, use that hashtag. There is an Empowering Girls Rotary Showcase, a separate section under the initiative. So when you go in there and you put in the showcase, go into Showcase, there is a separate place for empowering girls. However, I'm not sure that's still live. Like I said, there's still some additional information, and this orientation is just that, to get us oriented on what direction we need to go and what resources you need. And we will definitely take that back to Jennifer and to Jeremy and whomever. Great question.
So I want to call attention to the fact that already a couple of interesting projects have been introduced in the chat. We had Steve Dudenhofer talking about a Guatemala project preventing forced marriage in Guatemala, and he put his contact information in there. So please take a look at that, scroll back up through, or Steve can put the information again. Carla Newman, we know, has the My Girl Tribe inner wellness and menstrual hygiene work. And thank you so much, Carla. She added her email there as well for those interested in that. I think that's based in Florida or in the southeastern part of the United States. I also had, and I hope that she will put it in for everyone, RC Ginja from Uganda, who works on a girls soccer team called the Dream Team. And these, it would be great if she would put some contact information there for those who want to use girls sports as a way to empower girls. It certainly worked for me. I hope that, I think that's a wonderful kind of project. So there is a question here. Well, one I can answer directly. Will this recording be available? Yes, it will be made available soon after. Our incredible team here is very good at getting it out fast. And my understanding is that it will be on the Zone website within a couple hours. Is that true? Tina and Dawn are nodding. So yes, I think I said that correctly. Now, Peter Gutchman has a question. Will there be specific Rotary Foundation funding for empowering girls, clubs, or district projects? Anyone want to take that on? Tina.
Well, I think absolutely there is money out there. It's just making the ask. But once again, you need to have well-defined goals and objectives and measures and on impact and sustainability. It's really left up to each individual district. It's left up to each individual club. But I am sure that if you have, there's an existing program project that has proven itself to be successful to empower our girls, take that to your board, take that to your district. There's definitely some opportunities there.
I can just add to that, Tina, that there's not a specific Empowering Girls Fund that's available. So, but the funding would be available through the Global Grant Program and district grant programs, of course. And there is absolutely an emphasis on empowering girls through not only President Gengier, but carrying on to President-elect Gordan's. What I would say is, if you look across the 7 areas of focus, there are opportunities in each one of those areas of focus to really put a focus and emphasis on empowering girls in all aspects of them. So use the Global Grant Program, use the District Grant Program, and focus in on empowering girls. And I'm sure the programs and projects that we go for funding for will be viewed positively by the foundation.
But I would have to think, and correct me if I'm wrong, someone, I've seen I think I saw Lorraine on here, but if we identify a donor who would like to donate to the Rotary Foundation specifically for these projects, we can connect them with someone. I'm sure that would be an avenue, because there are foundations and corporations and individuals who would like to donate specifically, and knowing that Rotary can impact communities, that might be a conversation on the foundation level. That's that philanthropic piece.
Great. Thank you so much, everyone. So just a reminder that there is, that we will be sending more information about how to enter your projects into the Rotary Showcase. And I think that will be also part of our resources page, which is on the Zone 3334 website. A question here from Anu Narula about, is the task force planning to help the girls and women adversely affected by the war in Ukraine? Well, I think it's important maybe to talk about the role of the task force versus projects coming up through clubs and districts, which is really our role is to support, and I'm going to ask our ambassadors come in, but our role is to really support, encourage, put the resources in front of clubs. The projects happen at the clubs and district level. So I know, for example, the club I belong to, Global Washington, is doing a lot of work to resettle and support Afghan families who have come into the Washington area. So certainly we encourage and support and look forward to hearing about projects that help women and girls affected by the war in Ukraine. And we very much encourage you to take that idea to your club, to pull it forward through the club. We know that at Rotary as a grassroots organization really works best when you start at the club level and then bring in other clubs to support it. But obviously people are very affected by the images of the war in Ukraine, as there are wars across this world, unfortunately, right now. And so looking at these kind of specific projects and taking them to your club and saying, this is something I really want to focus on, that is the way forward. Any follow-up, Tina?
Yes, I will share with you that there is the $25,000 Ukraine Support Foundation grant that is available. District 6910, my home district, has participated in that. And we identified refugees that have relocated to the central Georgia, northeast Georgia, where my district is located, to support these refugees. So take a look, get in touch with your DRFC in your district about opportunities to participate in the $25,000 Ukraine Refugee Support Fund. That's your money, your club's money is coming back to help those that are in need.
Thanks, Tina. Again, someone else has put there, Chevron Bacchus, a great idea and thought out there. So we're already exchanging great project ideas for empowering girls, which I just love always about Rotary. Is there's tons of work going on to both inspire us and to take a look at it from the empowering girls perspectives. But this was a Camp Fearless weekend of empowering girl experience for middle school girls. And there's some information from Rotary Chevron, her email and her phone number, if you're interested in hearing more about Camp Fearless. Thanks, Steve, for putting the information in there again about working in Guatemala to prevent forced marriage, particularly with young Indigenous girls. So those who are interested in this kind of issue or in Central America, empowering girls, please take a look at Steve's information and contact him. And that is what I am seeing. Any other questions? I'm looking for hands up. I don't see that.
In this format, people are able to unmute. If you have I wonder if, one of the things with having these advocate calls is we want to spur invention and wonder. Because in doing so is how we connect the dots to ideas and projects that we just wonder, is someone else doing this? And we want to inspire conversation here amongst you. We also want to just highlight that the advocate roles and responsibilities document will be available on the website, and I put that in the chat as well.
Great. And I see, again, we're getting more. I love the fact that we have so many people from outside our zones who are offering us great ideas. This is one of the important powers, the superpowers of Rotary, is this cross-cultural, cross-global sharing and ideas. So there is a dignified menstruation program from the Rotary Club in Bhaktapur. If you want to join hands, we welcome. So Mr. Shiwakoti, perhaps you could put, I'm sorry if I just destroyed your last name, but if you could put your information there, maybe an email or a phone number where people get in contact with you and hear more about your program. That sounds wonderful, really exciting. Oh, great.
I love and I love the ideas that are coming forward, especially around district grants time. If your district is one that offers district grants, this is a great space and place to wonder if, and because we know that those will have been submitted by the next time that we meet. And we do have some great resources in our zones. Procter & Gamble absolutely is in our zones. And so that is a great resource. Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, and can I just say, as we wait and see if there are more questions or comments, how wonderful it is to see such a big group here today, and lots of leadership, both incoming and upcoming leadership in these zones, as well as our neighbor zones and our neighbors across the world. So very exciting. As Rudy says, love seeing all the captains here.
Anna?
Yeah.
Yeah, hi, this is Peter Gleichman in District 6910. You know, some districts have speaker bureaus for various aspects of Rotary, and this would be a great program, I won't call it an initiative at this point, for a district having a speaker bureau for speakers to be available for clubs, because clubs might be sort of casting about to find a speaker, but if there is listed on a district website of a speaker bureau of speakers available for the topic, it would make it easier for clubs.
Sure, and I'm happy to elect Tina and Dawn to be speakers. No, and as a deputy, I'm there too. But yes, we should definitely do that. And plus, there are quite a few people in our zones who have done this work for a very long time. And so bringing some of them in to let us know, particularly around specific issues. I know because of the webinars we did last year as a team, there are some really incredible projects that Tina mentioned as well around preventing trafficking, around the Crown Her project, and those might be wonderful parts of a speaker. So great idea, Peter. Thank you so much.
And we will be collecting from the chat, of course, all of the projects that have been shared with us and the contacts. And that's what it's all about. It's identifying and partnering together. So we will be sharing that on our resources page. And if there's someone of a particular expertise, our cadres of advisors, we have an amazing group of cadres, and we are happy to connect you with them.
Very much so. Well, I'm not seeing any more questions come up. And so maybe what we can do is make sure that everyone gets this recording very soon. I'm going to babble for a little bit and give you time if you have more questions. We will get this recording out to you. It will be on the Zone 3334 website. And we look forward to your questions. And of course, this whole team, which is a great team, is available to respond to questions. And then we have our office hours, which will be another opportunity. So lots of opportunities to talk, share resources, share information, share brainstorming ideas, connect with those resources. So I think that we are following up the Q&A with a final comment maybe from our leader, Jeremy. Is that right?
I'd be happy to, Anna. Absolutely. Well, firstly, let me say how much I've enjoyed today's Zoom meeting webinar. Great information, great content, and great passion for what is an amazing cause, and one that really is taken off organically across the Rotary world. I want to thank, of course, our advocates, Tina and Dawn, and also the deputies there, Anna Colnice, and the full teams who have presented today and given some great information. But more than anything else, I want to thank you as individuals, because Colnice mentioned the concept of being a legacy, the legacy of the moment, I think is the term she used. And to me, today is a very important milestone. And I think we need to view it as that. It's the milestone where we have the opportunity to transition from awareness to impact. And I want to make sure you fully understand that. And I think we all know Rotary well enough. We're all leaders here. We're all experienced in Rotary. We know that Rotary only happens when we do great projects and programs within our clubs. And our districts can support them. And this type of group, Parent Girls Group, can support the districts. But what's most important is that we actually make it happen on the ground. So how do we do that? I want you to go away today and think, how can I make that difference? How can I be that advocate and work with my club, my own club to start with, and with the other clubs within our districts to make a real difference to create that lasting change that we see the opportunity for? There's an amazing sense of talent on this call. There's an amazing sense of ability and amazing sense of energy, but we've got to turn that into impacts. We can only do that with projects and programs happening within our clubs and communities. A couple of ideas there. We've talked about some great programs that are working right now, and these are programs that happened all the time in Rotary, well before the Empowering Girls initiative started. But how do we take those and maybe scale them? I've had some conversations in Trinidad with the team there about, is it possible we could take Crown Her and find another Caribbean island and take that program and make it happen there as well? Let's think creatively, let's have courage to drive this forward, and let's make a difference in our communities, one community at a time. Before we go, I'd also like to just congratulate you. This is great attendance on this call, absolutely amazing attendance. And as we've already been recognized from not just within our zone, but from outside, we talked about continuity between the outgoing president, past president, Shekhar, President Jen, President nominee, elect now, I should say, Gordan, as he moves forward. But we also have a past president on the call with us here, who I noticed a little earlier, past President Wilf Wilkinson. So Wilf, we want to thank you for coming here, because that's another example of that continuity and how we'll build things moving forward. And of course, past RA Director Peter, thanks for your support as well. So once again, we have an opportunity here. It really rests with us on the call. So I'd like us to take individual responsibility to go out and build a program within our districts with the resources that have been made available to you to make sure that this program continues, not just through Jen, through Gordan, but into the future. So we can look back and, as we said, be at that pivotal moment today where we made the decision to make a difference and create lasting change. Thank you all so much for your support of this program, for your support of the team, and for your commitment to take this program forward. Thank you.
Thank you all for joining us today. Have a great rest of your week.
We will see you in September.